Let's take a look at a national issue concerning the current fuel crisis bedeviling the situation in Nigeria. I do have with me now the National Industrial Relations Officer, PENGASSAN Eze Ifeanyi, joining me. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning for having me.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Good. How will the anticipated release of petroleum from Dangote Refinery, how do you think it will actually impact the current fuel scarcity in Nigeria? What are your thoughts?
It's a good thing that actually we are producing fuel in this country presently, whether it's by a private organization or government, but at least we are producing petroleum products. It's going to reduce fuel scarcity if there is going to be a regular supply. The company Dangote Refinery having a regular crude and refining regularly, producing optimally, is going to reduce the fuel scarcity, because what it means is that regularly the fuel will be available within the country and it will be easy to get to the points where it will be dispensed. We don't need to go through the logistics of weather, rough weather, trying to offload and the distance, bringing the commodity down to the country.
All right. But let's take a look at one major factor that everyone seems to be talking about, and that's got to do with the regulated market dynamics. We did hear from the NNPCL that they would not be fixing prices. Dangote Refinery itself has said the prices would not be fixed under the refinery, under Dangote Refinery. But then again, what's your take on pricing, and how do you think this would be heavily impacted upon, especially looking at the statements made from Dangote Refinery itself and, of course, NNPCL?
Yeah, it is going to be a huge one, in the sense that the dynamics are not they are not doing well for us here. For instance, if we have our public refineries working now, and we have enough fuel coming from it, there will be this competition. It's not going to be a monopoly. That's the first thing we have to grapple with. And secondly, we are talking about dynamics of the cost and the stability of our naira, which will determine the cost of pricing the fuel, because it's still being priced at international rate. So it is going to be a very difficult one for the country. And for PENGASSAN, I will tell you that PENGASSAN is not against deregulation, but not at the present conditions which we have, and which has to do with the high dollar rates and the inability of our refineries, our public refineries, to work. And we are looking at even the other infrastructures like good road. There is no proper system of transportation in this country, unlike the other countries where this is being practiced. For instance, we have rail services helping people organize transportation, but we don't have any of that here. So it's not going to be easy for us. And there is no country that don't subsidize energy for the citizens. So I believe government should have a second look at this and see a way to make sure that there won't be hyperinflation of the price of the commodity, because Dangote Refinery is a private refinery and is into business. So there may be middlemen in between the dispensation of the fuel to collecting points or to pump points. So we really have to. It's something that government should look into.
All right, Mr. Ifeanyi, just a few hours ago, Dangote himself had said that Petrol is ready. He's waiting for the NNPCL to pick up and carry out the initiation to ensure that petrol is circulated in different parts of the country. How ready is PENGASSAN now to ensure that there's distribution of fuel, especially from the Dangote Refinery? How ready is PENGASSAN?
Yeah, PENGASSAN and NUPEN, we are in Dangote Refinery. Incidentally, the very day the production commenced. And we are doing all this to get adequate information and to give them our own idea. Like we are looking at Dangote Refinery having the trucks to take the product to the various points, having tracker, so that we know where they are and where they've dispensed the fuel. And then we put our members to continue checking and monitoring the trucks, because the good thing now is that we are not using tank farms. We shouldn't be having all those bottlenecks. So if an NPCL are doing their own part and the union too will support them, I believe that the fuel will be available. But what we are grappling with for now is the cost. How are we going to make sure that the cost is affordable for the masses?
All right. My final question to you would be a question that every Nigerian seems to be asking right now. You said you were there from the start when the production started, PENGASSAN and, of course, NUPENG. The color we saw on the bottle that was presented to members of the press on the quality of fuel or the premium motor spirit, what can you say about that? Many said it's so white like water. What's your take on that, especially from a PENGASSAN point of view? Is it the actual thing? And is it true that it would help engines last longer? These are questions everyone seems to be asking.
Yeah, it's a top quality when you look at what quality of fuel should be. And I think what Dangote said is right. But the only concern we have at times, is that when you have products that are white and you're using it in a community, in a country, it may be a problem because you're looking at safety. You see, people, our children may actually mistake it to clear fluid like water. That's the way we should be looking at it. But otherwise, as regards to the quality, it's a top-notch quality, and that's exactly what we saw when we visited.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us, National Industrial Relations Officer, PENGASSAN, Mr. Eze Ifeanyi. Thanks for your contribution here on News Now.